All right, welcome back. Today we have a TJ Fischer Lash to talk about. When I did the unboxing, I mistakenly called this a launch because, well, I wasn't familiar with the Lash. I knew it wasn't really a launch because I've had a launch and it's smaller than a launch. So I misspoke during that. But this is a used knife. As you can see, there's some scratches here on the clip. There's maybe a little ding there in the bolster. But this is a true working knife, right? So, and it is for sale. By the time this video goes out, it might not be. But look at this. Now, there are some scratches up in here that you can see a little bit on the bolsters there, but this is really a handmade custom that is made to carry and use. It's a good size. Feels a little bit short almost just because of the way where my fingers land, but I've got bigger hands. I mean, I don't know. I hate to use the glove size thing because sometimes I'm a medium size and sometimes I'm a large or an extra large size glove. It depends on the glove. So I don't know that that's a great and useful analogy. But let's get back to this. 2.99 inch blade. So a 3-inch blade. 0.707 here. So it's a thick handle. So it feels really good. A lot of oomph and power behind it because it just is really secure and really good in your hand. Now, you can get really fancy customs. You can get, just normal customs like this from North Arms Skaha. This is another really good user knife in that $325, $375 price range. This one's a little bit more than that. It's in the $1,500 price range. But American made, if you're into that. I mean, we're all into that, but some people are really, really into that. Super snappy action. Now, there is one little issue, not even an issue. Normally, your detent ball is about here. This one is here. Now, the person who commissioned this build originally wanted it like this. They specifically asked TJ to put the detent on the back side of the liner. And I'll show you that close up here in a minute. What that does, it's kind of a safety thing, so it doesn't just drop onto your finger or drop onto your thumb. It makes it a little bit awkward for us that have the detents on the leading edge of the liner. Okay? So for us, it is a little awkward the first few times that you have it or the first day you carry it after not carrying it for some time. But it is by design and it is not a flaw. It's just something different than, say, this other one that TJ made where your detent is right there. And then off you go. So it's just different. Okay. This is what TJ calls a half dresser because it has a very fancy blade and a very plain scales. Nice pocket clip. It is polished on the perimeters. And this would be a great daily carry user knife also. This one is mine and it's not currently for sale. At some point in the future, you never know. Me, what I've been carrying, I like to keep it in the family, right? I'm a big fan of the Fischer name. Todd Fischer Sr., Todd Fischer Jr., and Frank Fischer. I have been carrying the King Battle for 200 and something days. I don't even know. I have to look on my little app. It tells me 230 plus days. So anything can be a daily carry knife, and I use this. However, this is not the most practical blade shape. This is a super expensive knife by anybody's definition. And a lot of people would be like, I'm not carrying that. I spent too much on it. Me, I'm the opposite. I spent so much on it, I want to get my money's worth by carrying it. This would be a much better daily use carry knife and much cheaper. But it's all about what you want to do. Don't do what I do. Do what you want to do. And I am trying to sell this for Kyle, who loaned it in, but I'm not here to push it or anything like that. Hey, if you guys are interested, I will put the price down below in the description. If it says sold, then it's sold. If there's a price, it's available. Hit me up. So what do we have here really? We have a 4 1/8 closed, 7 1/16 overall, 2.99 inch blade, 2.3 inch cutting edge because it's sharpened. It's got a pretty, it's way up here by the time it gets sharp, which is fine. So you can choke up on this without any problem. And then it's going to feel way good in the hand. Okay. 1095 steel with a real hamon. Now I understand, or I believe that the infamous Stan Wilson also had his hands in this knife, that he and TJ worked on it together. Maybe he mentored a little bit. I don't know exactly the involvement, but I believe that Stan Wilson was involved with this a little bit. It is 0.020 behind the edge, 0.201 blade thickness. Runs on bearings, weighs in at 5.7 ounces. It is a liner lock, and it has ebony wood scales. You can feel the transition between the scales and the titanium bolsters in a few spots. That's because of its age and its wear. Okay, it is a wood, so it is going to heat and contract a little bit, and it's going to have shifted a little bit over time, perhaps. Floating titanium spine or backspacer. TJ likes to call them spines. Let's see if we can show you the detemp ball in here. So it's there on the back side. Normally, like on the Cobra, it is right in the front. Let me get a light here. So it's right there in the front. Well, it's on the back of the lock bar, but because it's just a lock bar. So it is right back here. There's the hole. Okay, well, that would have been easier. So it is on the back of the lock bar, but with this, it's like way back here, like at the back of the knife. So it's a distinct difference. And as you use this knife, you'll get accustomed to it and it'll be fine and no problem. So I don't think that's a detractor, but just an FYI. What a lot of the Fishers do on most of theirs is they engine turn or do this jeweling on the liners. That is an extra step that's not really necessary because most people aren't going to notice that or see it. But it is a little bit of an attention to detail that I do find very nice and I like. And for $1,500 for an American-made custom, I think is a pretty dang good deal, especially coming from somebody in the Fisher family. There are other production knives that are $1,500, $1,200 that don't function as well as this, that don't have the prestige behind them, and not to talk bad about them, but like the Microtacs, the Medfords, like those are production knives. I don't know. Even Medford, they don't want to say they're production, but they're production. They have a lower production than Benchmade, but at this point in the game, they're more of a production-ish knife. And you can spend $1,500 on a Praetorian tie over there or more. On a Praetorian micro, which is maybe closer to this size, you're going to still spend $1,000-ish. If you're going to go to that level, and again, there's nothing bad about Medford. That's just the prices, right? If you're going to go to that level, why don't you spend a little bit more and get a custom? And yes, brand new, this might have been a little more. That's $1,500 on the secondary market. But yeah, you can get a new one from TJ in this probably configuration, still in that same price range-ish. Okay? So just something to think about in general with custom knives. You can find great deals on custom knives. This one, I think, was in the 2,000, 1,800 range when it was new. Again, handmade custom in the United States, you really can't get much better than that. Just as another FYI, this Red Horse Knife Works production Hellraiser with the Damascus steel blade was like $900. Half the price of a handmade custom. What does that mean? I don't know. It just means that you don't have to break the bank and spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to get a custom made knife. You can spend that much. Again, here from Red Horse Knife Works, another custom, which was about $2,000 on the secondary years after they stopped making it, like things like that. But new, I think it was a little less than that. So if you look around, there are options for custom made knives in the US that are semi-reasonably priced. You're not going to get them. I mean, there are some that are in that $300 to $500 range, but those are a little more few and far between. But if you're in that $1,000, $1,500 price range, there are a lot of good American-made custom makers as options. So just throwing that out there. I know it kind of went on about pricing and all that, but just kind of an explanation on where things are at in the market in today's world. So if you're looking for a good user knife, this one might be still available, or you can reach out to TJ or Todd Sr. and have them make you a brand new knife with the materials that you want. As you get to be exotic materials, Damascus, Zircotai, Sanmai Damascus, all of that, your prices certainly go up and up and up. Thanks for watching. Check out my TJ Fischer playlist in the corner and have an excellent day.